Welcome to St. Mark's Church. I invite you to join me for a visit with our icons and iconographers. Today, in our first episode, we're going to learn a little more about the icon of the Archangel Raphael. In the midst of this global pandemic, the Archangel Raphael has particular importance and resonance for us as the archangel that represents healing. Whenever we encounter this image, it invites us to pray for healing in body, mind, and spirit, for ourselves, for our families, our church, our community, our nation, and the whole world. The angel calls us to do all in our power to demonstrate Christ's loving care for all people and to protect the health and well-being, especially of the most vulnerable members of our community. Images of Raphael are posted throughout the church as a reminder that we at St. Mark's expect everyone to do their part to promote the health and well-being of the community. Now, I'll turn it over to our iconographer, Pat Catlett, who will introduce us to the icon of the Archangel Raphael.
Well, first off, thank you very much. This is one of my favorite icons. Yes, we have favorite icons. I painted this in a class with an Orthodox priest. What can I say? It was overpowering because there is so much in it. As in all icons, it's a story. It's not just a portrait, especially when it's an angel. We don't know really what angels look like. We've given angels wings, and usually people associate that immediately with an angel. But the wings, usually when an angel appears to somebody, especially in the Gospels, it's as a person. So we can recognize them and associate with them and not be afraid of them. Angels, these are good angels. And there's three main ones. St. Michael, he is the defender of the faith. The Archangel Michael. There's another archangel, Gabriel, who sent the word, a true messenger, because the word for angel is actually healer, but also means messenger. And then there's Raphael, who is the healing angel who comes, and I love this story, and at the end I'll say a little prayer for us, that these angels, but particularly Raphael, knows when you need him. He will come. The word is unbidden, without being asked. He will appear. And sometimes they're funny stories about angels. This particular story is involving a little person that it's fun in icons. This is actually a true size human being, but because we don't know the size of angels, this person, this young man named Tobias, looks like a little person. And he's holding a fish. And there's a long story that goes with this. Yes, there you see it right there. There's a long story and it's complicated, but let me simplify it a little bit. Tobias had to go on a journey for his father, Tobit. Tobit was blind. He couldn't see, but it wasn't just that he was physically blind. He was having trouble understanding his faith. So Tobias went on a trip, and he didn't know where the city was. I think it's Medea. And he asked for help, and this guy shows up. This really handsome man says, I will show you the way, and do not be afraid. And person who is the angel Raphael, by the way, comes and reassures the parents, and they go off on the journey. And along the way, Tobias is along the river, and a large fish bites his foot. Now, at first I thought, oh, food, he's going to eat the fish because he's hungry. He's hungry in lots of ways too, not just physically hungry, but he's emotionally hungry, and he's looking for something. So Tobias screams, and the angel young man comes and says, don't be afraid. And he pulls the fish off and gives it to Tobias, and Tobias thinks he's going to eat it. Well, the guy, the angel Raphael, tells him, well, what you're going to do is actually take out the eyes and the liver and the gizzards and things like that. And I don't remember which ones, but particular organs in the fish are for healing. And he says, you're going to cook these and put them away for your father. So again, Tobias thinks, oh, okay, I'm going to bring some food back to my father for the trip and it'll be cooked. And he does eat the fish, and I think the angel eats the fish too. So yes, when an angel's in a human form, they can do things that angels probably would not do in the spirit world. You'll notice a few other things that's very interesting. The little guy, Tobias, is standing on what looks like a towel or a blanket. Very comforting, isn't it? It's like he's being held tenderly by the angel. Well, that's actually the sash of the angel. And if you look underneath the red robe, you will see that's the sash that would have been around to hold the cloak on for the angel. So I like that idea that a blanket comforts us, keeps us warm, makes us feel safe. And so it's a very tender relationship that way. Do you know what a censer is? I bet you guys do know what a censer is. It's what the incense is burned in. And it's another symbol, kind of like wings. The censer we burn and it creates smoke, incense. And the incense is to send our prayers to God. There's a lot of cultures that believe that if you burn in a fire, a piece of wood or something, in this case we usually burn like charcoal, that the smoke goes up to heaven with your intentions or your wishes or your prayers. And you'll notice in the green, there's a staff or a stick. Now, most angel images that we paint in icons, you'll see that. And it could be a walking stick for traveling. It could also be a tool to protect yourself. And Michael's particularly, because he's the defender of the faith and he was a warrior who protected the name of God against the bad angels. That staff means something too. And often at the very tip of that staff, you'll see a different mark. Usually it's a cross for Michael, and in Gabriel might have a little more decoration on it. This one has, I believe, a flame or a flower, and that's for healing. So therefore, the wings can be different colors. They can be blue or yellow or just like birds. Blue is the color of heaven. So in this particular icon, he has a purple robe, but a green sash. Now, we usually associate the color green robe with Raphael, and red robe for Michael, and a blue robe for Gabriel. And the red means the human being. So the human natures for Michael, which would be fighting, I suppose, defending. Blue would be heaven for Gabriel, and green is the color of healing or earth. There's other meanings for it, and you can get more complicated, but to answer your question, the robe colors and the angel wing colors do change. Just like people change clothes or birds, it's how we see them.
Wow. Well, thank you. This is one of the coolest things about our church are these icons, and there are all of these stories and secrets and power kind of hidden in the icons. And so thank you, Lynn and Pat, for helping us kind of enter into the story and learn some of the mysteries, because that makes it that much more meaningful when we can come to church in person and greet the icons and pray with them, but also when we're home